So today I am giving you a much requested schoolroom tour. Now, one thing that I want you to remember is that this is a working homeschool. And so that means that everything is not perfectly organized and perfectly clean here because we use this room daily to get a lot of work done. So you're going to see a little bit of mess. You're going to see a little bit of schoolwork out, but I'm going to show you my systems of organization, how I keep everything together, and hopefully this is beneficial for you. Now, if you want to go deeper and you want to figure out on a deep level how I organize my time, how I eliminate learning gaps, and how I get the kids like really into a good system, make sure you check out my masterclass. The link for that is in the description below, and that is free. So I'm going to turn my camera around now and just show you all of the stuff. I'm going to take you inside the homeschool. Okay, we are going to start with the homeschool cart. This is where a lot of the magic happens. This is my seat at the table, and my homeschool cart is right beside me. And if you see down here, there's a trash can, and it's to my left. So trash can right there, homeschool cart here. This may seem simple, but what it means is I'm not having to constantly get up and down to get things. A lot of the things that I need are right here. So let me just kind of take you through here. I keep my curriculum manuals here. So I have a kindergarten one, a 4th grade one, a 7th grade one, and a 9th grade one. I have 2 papers under here that I need to grade for my 4th graders, but this top part right here is mostly the curriculum manuals. I also have some grammar recitation flashcards that we do daily. This takes about 5 minutes. And the multiplication flashcards that I'm working through with my 4th graders, again, just like 5 minutes a day. I keep a lot of these tabs. One thing, maybe the only thing that I learned at Classical Conversations was how to use these tabs to keep my spot in books. And that is fantastic. So I keep these at all times. Very nice. I also keep blank index cards because for subjects like Latin, I have them make their own flashcards for this because one of the things that helps the learning process is writing things down. So instead of using the flashcards that Memoria provides for Latin, we actually make our own Latin flashcards. So that is the top. Then down here, this is kind of school supply stuff. So I use these weather stickers for weather time. I used to have this gigantic interactive calendar thingy for my little kindergartner, and it was great, but it took up so much space, and I always would lose the right weather card. So I got these stickers instead, and we just use a simple paper calendar that is on the whiteboard, and I'll show you that later. This is my reading material, How Latin Develops the Mind. I have a bunch of these little Memoria pamphlets, and I keep one in the cart, at least one at all times. These are multiplication flashcards that I still need to integrate into the stack. We haven't gotten to those yet. And more stickers. I'm a huge believer in giving out stickers as rewards. The kids love them. I keep my stapler. I keep a ruler that the dog has kind of gotten a hold of, but they need that for math. These gel highlighters, I like these when I'm reading things and I need to highlight passages. These are my absolute favorite pens. They're the Bic Flair marker pens. I use those, so I keep a little pack. I think I looked on Amazon. I've reordered these like 16 times because I lose them, and so I have to reorder constantly. Sticky notes, and then I have a 3-hole punch back there and an empty folder. So this is kind of like the school supply area. I do not keep pencils in here because they will all disappear rather quickly. I keep those locked up. Down here are some curriculum books that I need to be able to pull out quickly. And it's not terribly organized. There's a blank through room binder, more pamphlets down there, more Memorial pamphlets, some Latin drill sheets. This is kind of overflow. It's not really being used seriously right now. Okay, so this is another thing that I keep on my table so I don't have to get up a million times. This has the scissors in it. It's usually supposed to have more pencils than this, but you know how it is with homeschool households. Like, you never have a pencil. A spare Duplo. These are my pens, like I said. And some blank index cards back there as well. So this just keeps more stuff in reach. These are my homeschool checklists. I have one for every kid, and it keeps us on track. He needs to come over here and mark off. I see quite a few things he hasn't marked off yet that he's done. So each kid has one. They have a clipboard, and I change those out every week. And this is our little crayon basket. We keep the crayons in here. That's always on the table as well. And this is my little, this is my notebook. I told y'all about this. This is what I like to use. I'll link all of this stuff in the description, but it has really nice thick paper, and it works really well with my marker pens. But this is just my running to-do list. And I was going through art cards. So it says missing, and it has these 3 works of art on it because this is, I have the set of kindergarten art cards from Memoria, and these are the ones that are missing from that set. So I need to either find these or order another set. But I wrote that down because this is my notebook. It's kind of like my portable brain, and when I go to look for it, I know it'll be here. Okay, so this is the school table. Now, one other thing. So these are the boxes that I keep their school in. This is my kindergarten box because my kindergartner sits right here beside me. Okay, and so it's just easier to have his box right here in between the two of us. Everybody else has a place for their box though, and I'll show you that in just a minute. But I keep the kindergartners here because he's literally working on it side by side with me. So it makes more sense to actually have it here. Okay, so let's see, over here, there's the cursive wall chart and the whiteboard. There are art cards from previous weeks. And here's our little calendar. So you can see today they put a sunshine, a cloud, and a raindrop because it was raining this morning. And they'll just fill that in as the day goes. Okay, so over here, this is kind of a homeschool book station, curriculum station, I guess I should say. Up here, I keep all of the manuals that I'm currently using. Okay, and they're labeled. They're actually labeled incorrectly. I haven't relabeled them for this year yet. This is Relatable Homeschool Organization, okay, people? Some people have 2 boxes. Like this is actually a grade 4 box, and this is grade 4 as well. But then I have one for group studies. Then I have a blank one for extra clipboards, and this is junior kindergarten stuff that I need to put away. This is just, it's like an IKEA bamboo silverware thing. It has like these little rings for flashcards. It has some flashcards we haven't used. It has staples, paper clips. So a little bit of extra school supplies. I probably need to figure out another use for it because it's not super useful that way. But this is an old entertainment center that I bought. And I had my husband convert it into this. And this was 4 years ago. So 4 years ago, I had one of these school boxes in every single box. Okay. But now I have a lot of high schoolers that prefer to keep their box in their own room. So I have empty spaces, which is fun. So Lewis is in 7th grade. His box is still there. He uses this box up here sometimes too, just to put some stuff in. This is one of those zones that, like I said, we are a working homeschool. So this is kind of the pit of forgotten flashcards. These are flashcards from last year that I just haven't gotten organized yet. And you know, there's a spare box of tissues because why not? Okay. Oh, and my husband put up this divider thing. I have no idea how he did it, but he is a wizard like that. So praise the Lord for handy husbands. So over here we have our pencil sharpener. That is more flashcards. I have got to go through that at some point because it is just a disaster. This is one of my 4th graders' boxes. This is another one. They're not super organized, but that is okay because this is their space. Okay, so that's where they keep their materials that they're working on, and my teacher's manuals are up here. So it's all kind of together. Okay, let's move over here. This is basically curriculum that is not in use right now. Okay, and I have a wonderful system of organization that I did not come up with on my own. I have a friend who homeschooled and all of her kids are graduated now, and she came over. She's been helping me with this for the last 2 years. And so if you look here, we're not in 3rd grade right now. We got these stickers and we put the grade number All of this is third grade, and it has the third grade sticker, and then you have to tape over it because the little stickers will not stick forever. So what is nice about this is that inevitably the curriculum will get separated, and then I don't know what grade it belongs to. And so then it just goes on a bookshelf with everything else, and I can't find anything. This makes it so that if somebody wants to read Mr. Popper's Penguins again during quiet reading time, they can do that. And then if they forget to put this back where it goes, I'll just have to look at the spine and see that it has a third grade sticker on it, and I can put it back over here. Or I can tell one of the kids, go put it on the third grade shelf. So we have done this with every grade. This is second grade, and that's flashcards that kind of go with that. First grade, kindergarten, junior K, and then over here, there's fourth grade, fifth grade. Oh, look. See, this is in the wrong spot. And I know that because of the sticker. So I promise I didn't set this up like on purpose. It was actually just in the wrong spot. So I can move that back there. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to tell just by looking that that was out of place. So this saves me so much time. So there's sixth grade, seventh grade. These are the books. I have a seventh grader right now, but these are the books he's not reading right now. He likes to just keep the stuff that he's doing right now in his box. So when he needs the next book, he'll come and get it. Eighth grade. Now these two shelves down here, these are the books that I kept that are non-curriculum books because I felt like they would be good books for the kids to read, that they can read during quiet reading time, but it's not necessarily a curriculum book. So, you know, we're going to end up, my friend is going to help me get these categorized more by like age or reading level. We just haven't gotten to it yet. And then up here, I do have some science books, just like miscellaneous science. All of this is curriculum science, but it's not necessarily dependent on grade. This is my new readers shelf. So these are the pathway readers that we use. These are similar to Bob books, but not Bob books. They then graduate up to Magic Treehouse books. And then we have these books over here that are easy readers. And we have these categorized E for easy, UE for upper easy. Okay, so these are divided into two sections. So I know what to hand a new reader. Okay, this is kind of a blank shelf. This is a book that I'm reading next because I'm moderating a discussion class. Right now we're reading a different book, but this one comes next. This is just a bionic safe. And then we have 10th grade here, and 11th and 12th grade are being used right now. So they would normally go on that shelf, but right now it's just some forgotten toys. So this system has worked beautifully for us, and I am so thankful that my friend helped me get this in place. I would highly recommend it. So now over here, this top shelf right now is where I keep math textbooks that are not in use, dictionaries, and thesauruses. This book is another shelf of books that are not curriculum books, but still good to have. Same with this. And these are categorized. These are more like religious storybooks. I have some Christmas books and Thanksgiving and fall books over here. And then now you get to see some more real life homeschool. Look at that. These books all need to be put down on the shelf. This is like storybook shelves that are not curriculum. But when I say, hey kids, clean up the living room, sometimes this is what happens if I step away to cook or whatever. So I need to get in there and fix that. This is newer. I saw this in the Memoria Facebook group. So these, this is the art card that we're doing this week. And I do have these laminated. I love to laminate stuff. Some stuff is worth it. Others are not. I feel like the art cards definitely are. This is for when we are using science cards. So sometimes Memoria has bird cards, tree cards. I think they have mammals cards. I don't have the mammals one yet. I need to get that one. But those will go here. And then down here we have Manner of the Week. So this just keeps it organized. And then I have the rest of them here, and I can just flip it to the next one, you know. So we just got these up recently. So that is nice to have. And then, of course, you know, world map, piano, and back over here to the whiteboard. So up here, like I said, these are past weeks of art because we do review these on a weekly basis. We have an American flag up there to say the Pledge of Allegiance. We say the pledge to the Bible, and then we open with an opening prayer. So this is the schoolroom. This is where the majority of the magic happens, I should say. My high schoolers prefer to be upstairs in their own room because they need quiet. They need lots of it. But this is it. This is where we do it when we have recitation, which we have every morning. The kids stand over here and face me and do the recitation. And then that's the rest of the living room over there. So this is it. It works for us. It works really well. Feel free to ask me any questions you may have about my setup, about the products that I use. I try really hard to be frugal. I rarely hit the mark with that. But the things that I have right now are working really, really well. Most of these things I've had for multiple years, like the homeschool cart, those plastic bins that I keep the books in, that cabinet that the cabinet that my husband redid for me. All of those systems have been in use for several years, so they work really, really well for us. But feel free to ask me any questions that you may have. Make sure to check out that masterclass in the description below, because being externally organized is really not enough to have a well-run homeschool. You have to have other systems in place as well. I made the mistake my first year with Memoria Press of just trying to fully manage all of this, external stuff and not have really good internal homeschooling systems. And I paid the price. So I would love to help you avoid that if possible. I hope you enjoyed this little tour, and let me know in the comments if you're going to be adopting any of these methods.